Testing, testing. All right, mic 1 works. Let's retry this. Check. Check 1, 2. Nope. All right, there we go. All right, good. It should work now. Mute that so I don't hear myself reverb. But yeah, this should be live. I hope. That looks like it. All right, we're good. Now, one problem I'm having is this. This needs to be rotated better. All right, how does that look? We can angle it down more. You know what I could do? Chat, I just realized. I have foldy legs on this tripod now. You know what I can do? I can hang it up here. Let's flip this around. We're going to do some cool shenanigans using a headrest on a chair. On an angry chair. Oh, that's perfect. Look at that. Now you get a bird's eye view. Ain't that sweet? Pretty freaking sweet, Lois. That's pretty freaking sweet. All right, there we go. Now, quickly make sure that this works on my end. Is anybody in chat? I don't know. Are we live? Well, looks like it. All right. I tried getting this camera to work on a driving stream today, and it failed, and I'm mad at it. You can hear me? Good. Now it works. I just had to restart my phone and change the bit rate on the HTTP link for some reason, and that fixed it. I have no fucking clue why, but you live and you learn. I just hope it works when I drive, when I do my 9-hour driving stream, or else I'm going to be really pissed off. All right. Also, for some reason, my Twitch preview is not loading. I don't know why. Doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. I designed this run to slay in due time. Why the fuck are you not working? Bitch. Eggplant face this fucking thing. Why won't you work? For some reason, Libra Wolf is not working. All right, anyway. Time to stop dilly-dallying. Close the blinds. All right, so today, chat, you guys have the privilege of watching me build another computer. You also get to see feet. I don't know. Alex is into that. I don't know why he's into that, but yeah. So when are we playing UCH again? Never, because you exist. But yeah, also I got a new SIM card, so now I have 2 mobile plans. One my father pays for and one I pay for myself. But this has unlimited data on it. I don't know how unlimited is going to be. I don't know if unlimited is 10 gigabytes and that's it, or 100 gigabytes. I have no fucking clue. But that's why I'm going to vlog a 9-hour driving stream as a 7-year anniversary of being affiliate, essentially. Because it is... It's a 9-hour drive. Now I'm probably gonna have to like blur the camera or like, you know, turn off the camera or like disable it temporarily when I go to certain locations, because I do have like things to drop off, things to pick up. I'm going to Ohio. Ohio has constitutional carry. And I think you guys know already what I own. So I'd like to bring it to Ohio so I could learn how to use it. So there's that. And Ohio has a lot more places to use that kind of stuff and practice using that kind of stuff than in Maryland. Unlimited means unlimited. God, I fucking hope so. I hope Verizon doesn't like rate me over the coals and go like, yes, you used too many. You used 300,000 gigawatts or whatever Doc says from Back to the Future. I forget what he exactly says. 1.6 gigawatts or fuck, I don't know. Forget that line. Somebody knows what I'm talking about. But anyways, it's time to build another computer. This will be a mid-range PC. Now, unfortunately, mid-range has crept up to the $1,500 mark, and I hate saying that, but it's true. Mid-range used to be $1,000. And Peyton, I hate to say it, you got lucky, you motherfucker. You got lucky. You bought right as soon as that curve started shooting up. Taylor did as well. Taylor made a killing. Like half of his computer value is the RAM now, I swear to God. But no, this is a budget as much as you can get budget build for like, I want to say 1,400 I paid for all the parts. I think it was 1,400 I paid for all the parts. So this is a $1,500 build, you know, because $100 for shipping it off. I waived the build fee just because this is a friend of a friend, and I'm nice, I guess you could say. Plus, it's also ridiculously expensive already. We're already over budget, so I decided to be nice. Thank you, Kira, for the sub. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Oh wait, no, that was Don. That was Don. Am I lucky? Fletch, did you build a computer before this AI bubble? I remember these boxes. Yep. All right, so first, let's show off the boxes. This is one of the best gaming processors you can get right now. This is a Ryzen 7 7800X3D. These chips have extra cache built into them, which helps for like MMOs, City Skylines, your sim games. This is good for that because you can simulate more frames faster. Really good for that kind of shit. You got 32 gigs of RAM here, just your basic ass 32 gigs. You don't need to worry about it. We had to skimp on the GPU a little bit, unfortunately, because the RAM costs like $300. It cost like $100 a year ago, and now it costs 300. Thanks a lot, AI. Fucking hope you die. Fucking stupid subhuman garbage, as I would say. AI is fucking stupid subhuman garbage. Can we all agree that Peter Thiel needs to be executed for his war crimes? Yes, thank you. All right, let's go on. Your $1,500 build, so close enough to what Grant is going to be looking for price-wise. He's probably looking closer to $1,800 at this point. Like, shit has just gone up so much. Yeah, fuck AI. No, amen. All right, this is a 9060 XT. It's an 8 gigabyte version. Unfortunately, not a 16. 16 gigs is $100 more. It's not worth it in this aspect. I mean, again, it's just going to be mid-range gaming. Worst case scenario, in 3 years down the line, once prices go back down, can upgrade this graphics card. And it's going to two guys. They're a couple. They just want to play games together. So they want a new computer. So good for them. Not sure if he sent you the updated version of the build or not. We'll have to ask him. Feel free to page him about that. We got a 1 terabyte Patriot P400 Lite. This is a 1 terabyte SSD. It's TLC, which is better than QLC. I mean, it'll read and write better than QLC, and it will last longer. I wouldn't fill it up the whole way, obviously, because it's an SSD. But this should be fine. This should be fine. And then we got one of my favorite coolers. You probably have seen this one 5 times now on the channel. This is a Peerless Assassin 120. It's a dual tower cooler. These are absolutely overkill for Ryzen chips. they're just amazing. I love these coolers. For like 35 bucks, you really can't go wrong and with anything else. The only thing better than it is probably Noctuas and other stuff that's like 100 bucks. So for 35 bucks, it's a no-brainer for budget. Then we got X870 Gaming. It's just a regular gigabyte board. This came with the Micro Center bundle that I picked up. It's a basic motherboard. I don't know what else to say. I haven't really looked into it that much. It's a motherboard. We're going to look into it later. Look into the I/O. And then an A750GL gold rated power supply. You've seen these. I've built with them so many times now. They're just the standard at this point for what I use. Pretty soon people will and women will be obsolete. That's crazy. That's crazy, Don. What a crazy ass response. Apparently you already sent it. Okay, I must have read it already. My bad. But anyway, it's time to let's get rid of the plastic wrap just to have it gone, because this shit makes a mess. Ooh, I love the smell of new power supply. There's a certain smell. It's like new car smell. Does anybody know what new car smell smells like? That's what new power supply smells like. New car smell. It's very close to it, except more metallic. Don't ask me. I'm weird. Build not bound. And then, lastly, this was on fire sale. This is a Lee. You might know them for the 011. If you don't know them, then sorry you don't know about Lee. These are very Lee is a very good case manufacturer. This is on sale for 50 bucks. If I see a case for 50 bucks, I get it, because knowing me, I'm going to use it eventually. I still have an H5 Flow in the other room for a future computer, but this is a black case for 50 bucks. Very solid. You're weird for the past 6 years. Yeah, whatever. 7 years, Don. 7. It'll be 7 years today, actually, I believe. Today or tomorrow, I forget. Actually, maybe not tomorrow. Sometime in the next 3 days will be my 7th anniversary of being affiliate. Whatever, you know what I mean. But yeah, so let's quickly move this over. We're gonna start with the motherboard, and I'm gonna sit over here now. Let me know. Let me position myself. Also, let me quickly move this so I can actually see OBS. There we go. Now, reading chat's going to be hard. I should probably get my phone out just so I can do that. Is it bad that anytime I burp, I just think of eggplant face honking? Is that bad, Don? Is that bad? Am I just that cooked? Am I that cooked? All right, let me quickly open up chat so I can read it here. 7 years, 7 days, 4 hours. In 3 hours, it'll be 7 years, 7 days, and 7 hours. If you wait another 7 minutes and 7 seconds, it'll be 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. Kira, a hero's a hero. A hero's a hero. 7. Oh my god, I love that meme. A hero's a hero. 7. Oh my fucking god, dude. I love that. That was too damn funny. I couldn't fathom understanding of just he's speaking the language of the gods. All right. You need that on a t-shirt? I probably should do that. Get get Ian, that's the Ray's name, Ian, or Ian BGM, I believe is his DJ name. Big Man. He's also called Big Man. But I need to have Big Man with just him saying 7 in a speech bubble in a Splatoon art style. And that'll just be, that'll just be the shirt. All right, so M2 screws, I believe. That is that's a M2 standoff. SATA cable, I'll keep those. I'll actually throw in a couple SATA cables for them, because knowing those two guys, they're probably going to upgrade storage a ton. And what are you? No, seriously, what are you? What is this thing? There's like a weird comb in here. Let's pop it out. Oh, shit. Hard drive light, power LED, some sort of adapter. Oh, shit, it's a universal. Okay, so there's power. Neat. Okay, so this is an organizer for all the little LEDs, a speaker, stuff like that. Not many people use this, but I do like this. This is a good way of managing it. I know NZXT does a similar thing, so I like this. Good on them for actually, trying to make some sort of invention, doohickey that fixes a common issue I hate about building computers. Because trust me, that is like one of the things I hate. One of the things I hate about building computers is this damn pinout. I hate this pinout. It's so annoying. I always forget it. Don't say white before power, JSIC. Haha. Me when I have a white power supply. You can't say that. That's racist. But you can say black power supply or Hispanic power supply or Asian power supply. But you can't say white for some reason. Isn't that racist? I'd argue that's a bit racist, no? That's like girl power, but you can't say boy power? Fuck you. All right, there we go. Now, let me check the socket, because this always makes me scared, is these sockets having bent pins in them. No, we're good. All pins are clean. Stabs knife into there. No, don't actually do that. I would cry. I would actually cry. Exactly, Kira. All right. Let's get the CPU in here. Let me also get the NTH1 and the ice pick. I like to call it the ice pick. The ice pick. Get it? Because it's a super long screwdriver. You could probably lobotomize Don with it. He's probably into that. Let's be real. He's probably into that shit. Let me drop that there. You could also open up a demon core with it, now that I think about it. He also likes that too. I need to get knife and syringe. There's a syringe of thermal compound. Here's a knife. My insides have been hit with an ice pick, that's for sure. That's crazy. Not as much as I stab my tapestry like some bloke in a dark alleyway. Not as much as an emo girl to her arms. That was such a retarded laugh. What the fuck? Also, I just realized this has 3 M2 headers, and they support 110. Not that many people use 110 headers or 110 length M2s, but it's nice to see that. It's nice to see 22 110 support. Again, no one uses it unless you're doing enterprise shit, but the fact it supports basically enterprise SSDs is pretty nice. There's also 2 1X PCIe ports here too as well. I guess those are useful for capture cards or something. Maybe adding extra USB ports. I don't really know. You can do so much with those. I believe they're wired up to PCIe 4 instead of 5, which is still fine. That's all fine and dandy. Let me look at the manual. I'm actually curious now. Let me look at the manual for this thing. I want to see. Because you could probably put a 10 gig LAN port in here without any issue. Now I'm curious about it. Let's check. Are there specs, or is this just the installation guide? It's just the installation guide. Do motherboards not come with a fucking manual anymore? Are you kidding me, man? Guys, it's a motherboard. I expect the damn manual of my motherboard. Manuel! 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 How do you get an email out of the tree? You cut it? Or no, you hang it. you hang it. Jesus Christ, Jasek, shut the fuck up. All right. Let me actually keep that on there for now. All right. How do I open this? Does it open like a book in a way? It looks like it. It looks like it opens like a book. Because this, it does. Or it folds out like, ooh, weird ass origami. I like that. That's pretty neat. A shroud for it. And that comes out. This I don't need to worry about. Does it come with a cooler? Are you kidding me? Dude, they give you so much wasted space. Like, so much wasted box space. They could put a cooler or something in here. Or they could just shrink the box to half the size so that they could ship more of them. But no. Instead, they do this. All right, whatever. It's stupid, but I guess the larger the box, the harder it is to steal. I don't know. I love the movie WALL-E. I'm so glad you knew that reference. I'm so glad. That made me happy. All right, so we got a 7800X 3D. You can't really see it because the lighting is god-awful, but trust me, it's there. All right, pop this open. Where's the gold triangle? It's on the northwest. So this corner. There we go. All right. All right, there we go. Socket is installed. There's a sticker here that I can put on. Just chuck that over there real quick. All right, next. Let's probably put the cooler on next, I believe. Actually, no, RAM. Let's do RAM next. There we go. Do not mix memory kits. Yeah, I'm aware. Not many people are, but you shouldn't mix memory kits. You can if you want to have a bad time, but if you want to enjoy yourself, you don't want to do it. Trust me, bro. Unless you want to hate yourself, don't install mixed memory kits. All right. 2 and 4. I always forget which way it's keyed. It's that way. Which way? That way. All right, slot 2. I made a nice crunchy click. And slot 4. Here's something that, you know what really grinds my gears, Lois? The fact that these aren't slots 1 and 3. They're technically closer, which means that the traces are shorter, which means that the latency is lower. Yeah, no, seriously, that angers me. Why do they have it set on the slots that are farther away? That angers me. I don't know why they do that. Because you would think that having them, you know, a centimeter closer, even a centimeter closer would do so much. I don't know. It angers me to know for no reason. Toolless design. I like that. It's a nice little toggle. You just push it. This has a nice thermal pad on it. That's good to see. That's a Gen 5 slot. Not that we're going to use Gen 5. But then there's, I believe these are both Gen 4. Again, I haven't looked at the manual because it doesn't come with one for some reason. Graphics and NVMe only are PCIe 5. Okay, so everything else is PCIe 4 or 3. Good to know. That can go in trash. And you, well, I'm just going to have to cut you open like an emo girl. What? That's the second time I've made that joke today. How many times am I going to make that joke, Kira? I don't know. All right, let's slot you in there. Ah, okay. So it's just like this. Well, this one you flick up. This one you flick down to open and close. Okay, I see. Because now it's in there. You can shake it and it won't come out. But you can't push down on this one. You have to push up. So push up, push down. All right. And then put this on. I do like this the design of this quite a bit. It's pretty freaking sweet. And there's a little metal tab that you gotta thread it into right there. And now it's all one assembly. Too many times, even though I'm not an emo girl. I know, that's the joke. Kira, that's a joke. Calling you emo is like hilariously ironic. That's why calling you emo is funny. It's the irony. It's the irony, if anything. I'm going to throw this socket protector in there. These two slots are extra. These two slots are extra. This is where the GPU is going to go. I should probably wait before I do that. Ah, look. Luigi, look. It's from Bowser. So it just goes in there like that, no? Maybe? No, it goes like this. I see. So you load them all into here first, and then it just becomes one whole cable with the teeth sticking, or the with the holes in, and you just boom, the teeth end up poking through it. That's neat. I like that. It's kind of been grouped all together. I really like that assembly. I wish motherboard manufacturers did that, because that pinout always aggravates me. I always forget how it goes. It's a bit too much, but there's no such thing as too much paste. Too much paste is better than too little. I always say that. It's better to have too much paste on there than too little, because too much, when it's non-conductive stuff, just smears around here. You just clean up with alcohol when you open it up again. Too little, and your computer dies. You don't want that. I'd rather have too much and a little bit of a mess than too little and have a dead computer not even a day into owning it. Just my 2 cents, though. This can go in the trash, I believe. Yeah, there's no real point to keep this. Next, we have our Peerless Assassin to take care of. I really like this bird's eye camera. This is probably the best thing I've ever done for these build streams, is get this tripod. I'm going to name the tripod Grind. And to the one person who gets that reference, congratulations. To everyone else, I'm sorry. You're not cultured. Oh, we got our 2 cans here. This can be boxed up. Actually, hold on. Now it can be boxed up. Actually, not true. Let's get all this out. These will go here. This is a splitter that I will need. These are for these are for Intel. We're not doing an Intel build, so these can go back in here. We're doing AM5. I love AM5 way too much to bother going with LGA 18 or LGA 17. These are AM4. Chuck that in here as well. This is trash. There we go. All right. AM4. AM4. All right. AM4 and AM5 basically have the same spec sheets, so if something is designed for AM5, it'll work on AM4 99% of the time. All right, those go in there. What's up? $1,200. That's old Intel. This is new Intel. This is AMD. Nope, I actually have to cut it. I'm not going to make the joke. There you are. All right. There we go. I have all these now. I do believe I need to take out the old mounting system, right? I always forget. I'm pretty sure that's what I have to do. Unscrew the old mounting system. Yep. Then put the new mounting system in with the concave like that. Is it concave or convex? I always get the two mixed up. One goes in, the other goes out. One protrudes in, the other protrudes out. I always forget which way it goes. All right, there we go. Standoff. Standoff. And then make sure I'm doing this correctly. Yep, they go in. Yeah, and they can't reach over, so it's definitely this orientation. Should probably get the screws in. That way it makes my life easier. Or I can drop them. That's also cool. Hey, stop dropping them. There we go. And now all right, that's in. Now for the next one. Perfect. And you're over here. One, two, put the screws in. There we go. All right, both of those are now in. Now I can put the heat sink on and make sure to orient it correctly. Peel off the label before putting it on, unless I want to be stupid and overheat the cooler. or overheat the processor. That'd be funny, but no, I'm not doing that. Funny does not equal good idea. Right, Peyton? He's not listening. He's like, oh, bad idea? Yeah, let's do it. I love bad ideas. We agree, Slop. All right, so it's slightly off center. So I don't know. Should I do that? That moves it up more. Or should I do this? It moves it down. That actually aligns better. And if I do that, no, it doesn't hit it. Okay, it doesn't hit it. But there's so much space here. Let's just reverse it. Let's do it this way. There we go. Damn it. I gotta find the there we go, that's one side. Now to do the other side. Really? Perfect. All right, that's properly tensioned now. Let me just make sure it's actually hand tight. That's good. All right. You can chuck this into the box. Peel off this peel here because that's just going to cause thermal issues if I don't remove it. Is there a peel on the IO shield? No, there's not. Okay. Also, this is the second time in a row I've worked with a Gigabyte board, and it has that little plug for the Wi-Fi, which I really like. I want more board manufacturers to do this because this makes it so much easier. Also, this is 2 Thunderbolt ports. Oh my god. Dude. I mean, I have 2 Thunderbolt ports on my computer as well, but like, holy shit, dude, having Thunderbolt, that's really nice. I keep forgetting about these new boards. These X800 70 boards, they have Thunderbolt in them, which is amazing. You can use so much shit with it. It's an expensive port. That's why I'm actually kind of astonished this thing even has it, but it's X870, so I really shouldn't be too surprised. But it's good to see that. That's a welcome sight. All right. Cooler, RAM, motherboard, CPU are all together. All together now. 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 Now, here's a problem. You see, now here's the problem. Actually, no. You don't need 4. You just need 2 per fan. What am I saying? Here's the problem. Too many toasters. Luigi, look, it's from Bowser. Hey, mister, can Marissa borrow your GPU and RAM? She'll totally bring it back. Marissa Kirasami can pry that shit from my cold, dead hands. All right, let's see. How do I want to orient this? I might want to orient it like that, in which case, yank You go here. All right, let's see. I could I do that? No, it's not going to be enough slack. There we go. And now to reorient you. Ah! Fuck. Also, why is Ramilia asking if Marissa can steal stuff? Ramilia, like, Ramilia lives in the Scarlet Devil Mansion. She would not be okay with Pachuli's books being stolen, because then Pachuli would complain to her. Is this a viewer PC or someone else builds tonight? It's a viewer's friend, essentially. But well, it's gonna be shared between two guys, and they just want a new computer, and this is like very impromptu, but it's one of the reasons I'm going to Ohio this weekend. One of, so yeah, basically, I was gonna ship it, but it costs $100 to ship a computer to basically anywhere in the U.S. So why pay $100 to ship a computer when I can pay $100 instead on gas money and just drive there? It's just as economical. Plus, I get to see friends that live in Ohio. Because believe it or not, I have a bunch of friends that live in Ohio. So there's that. Jessica's IRL friends? Wow, what a nerd. I'm just a loser shut-in that's terminally online. Couldn't be me, LMAO. I'm only being half sarcastic there, guys, about making fun of that shit. All right, let me plug this in. Also, Alex, when's the fan game coming out? I'm going to just say that. Anytime you join chat now, I'm going to be like, fan game when? All right, both fans are on. Both RAM sticks are installed. This fan could go down a little more. That's funny, Alex. Ay, ay, ay. Getting texted at. Hold on, let me check chat. You had to alt-tab to check. What are these pinouts? ESP, SPI? Oh, that's for like TPM and stuff that no one uses. Also, that's a bit concerning. This header here, one of the pins is bent. I don't know if I hit it. I might have hit it. That might have been me. But you can just bend it back just fine. It's also a 12-volt RGB header. It's not something that I would necessarily care about. All right, let me think here. What's next? RAM, cooler, CPU, motherboards all together. I guess I need to do GPU now, which involves me, closing this up. I'm throwing this box into the other room. Oh, wait, hold on. You need to go in here. Nice. All right. Now I actually have room to install this into the case, because frankly there's nothing else I need to do right now except do that. So let me shove this over here, move this over here so I don't short anything. Barely fits like a glove. God, I'm clumsy with a knife. Holy hell. There we go. We lean this on its side. Hide a Ohio text file? No. No, Alex. Come on, man. Really? Also, why can't I just pull this up vertically? Just do that instead. Whoop. Oops. Get bonked. I just bonked you guys in my head. Get bonked. How did I have this set up? I had it set up like that. Hold on. I have a feeling I did this wrong. I did do this wrong. I thought I taught a putty tat. I did a taught a putty tat. There we go. All right. Let's try to pull it out this time. That's what he said. Oh boy, that's what he said. Let's just go upside down. Gravity. Gravity's my friend. My ally. Gravity's strongest ally. Hold on, I just realized this. Let me quickly flip it around. There we go. Now it's better. You aren't angled properly anymore. Why would that be? All right, because I'm not doing this. When Dad win money, bad beer goods a little too hard. Yeah, basically. The styrofoam inserts. That's good that they have arrows. There's arrows on the styrofoam here. Really useful, so when I box this back up, I get clapped in the head by styrofoam. Did the printer stop? Hold on. It did. Holy shit. I printed something somewhat successfully. There's like a gap where I don't know if it layer shifted or something, but I have to fix it. But for the most part, it works. Let's not touch the peel yet. That peel can stay on. I'll let the end user play with the peel. That's something I'm not entitled to do. is play with that kind of peel. Install guide, we don't need that. He says as 5 minutes from now, he'll need it. Handle tempered glass with care. Hey, Alex, this is your favorite stuff. Tempered glass. Your favorite. Don't you love it when it shatters? Ooh. It's a weird glass panel. It has like a notch in it. It has like a nose to it. Like a little jut. Anytime I see Alex scream it makes me go like, I should probably put like Ibuki Suika at like 1% scale somewhere on the stream and see if we can find her. It'd be really funny, wouldn't it, chat? He has a lobotomy anytime he sees her. Almost cutting my thumb off is what got me my current PC for like 50% off, Lamo. Yeah, I know. That's the joke. All right, let's see. Let me quickly... Ooh, it doesn't want to come out now. Ooh, it doesn't want to come out, which I guess is a good thing because it is aligned. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Peg. 7, 8, 9. All right, all 9 inserts are good. I do like how it comes with a little polypropylene case. And it's all organized too. Dude, for 50 bucks? Lian Lee, what the hell, man? This is like on par with NZXT. I like this. In fact, I'd even argue better. I'd argue better than NZXT at this rate. I got mine back when they thought Windows 10 would be out forever. That's funny. Thank you for your purchase. Please post us on social media. I don't do that shit. Sorry, bud. Sorry, Charlie. Sorry, Charlie. Let's just throw that card into here with the Manuel. Manuel! Dummy back when they checked ID for voting instead of checking ID for gooning. That's fucking crazy, dude. Oh my god! Is this a GPU bracket? Are you serious? Dude, this $50 case comes with a GPU bracket. At least I'm pretty sure this is a GPU bracket. It sure as hell looks like one. I could be wrong here. But I'm pretty sure that mounts like somewhere here now. There's no way. This can't be. No, I refuse to believe that shit. There's no way that's a GPU bracket. An anti-sag bracket, for those that don't know what I'm talking about. Now I'm going to look at the manual and find out. Because for 50 bucks, this is like a steal. Flint and steel. It is a GPU bracket. I'll be damned. I'll be damned. And it goes into these 2 spots here on the motherboard. Dude, that's amazing. I love that. It's actually pretty sick that they have that. I mean, I might as well install it. Fuck. It'll be my first time doing this, so it'll be a first for me. Oh shit. This little case here, it comes with extra little dividers. So it's actually like practical. You can actually use it for other stuff. And it has cable ties as well. Dude, Lian Lee, I'm gonna have to start buying your cases more often. Again, for 50 bucks, this is kind of a no-brainer, but shit, man. This is sick. I love this. 50 bucks for a case that has a GPU bracket in it. I mean, goddamn. I'm loving this. I'm eating good. One thing I do need to do, though, is get this out and install some screws. It even comes with radiator screws. Radiator springs. Yep, those are definitely radiator screws. That's 8 of them, right? Yep, 8 of them. 8 radiator screws. So you can install 240. Even though there's 3 fans here, 3 fans here, and 1 fan here. So you could have 7 fans on this thing, plus 2 on the cooler. So you could have 9 fans in this case, in this computer. It's not bad at all if you like airflow and RGB. I don't like RGB. And RGB is too expensive for budget builds, so I don't touch it. Now, I'm going to assume that these big screws are the ones I want. Unless... Oh, hold on. No, there's another thing here. Should probably throw this away. Ow! Banged my funny bone against another case. Well done. All right, there we go. Top view of the goods. Dude, I love this new view. I'm loving this shit. Now, frankly, I should be reorienting it. But having the light at the angle it's at makes me see better. And if I flip it around, it's going to be harder for me to see. Still, it looks really good. These... I believe these are fan standoff or something. Oh, no, these are for the GPU bracket. So I'll just set that there in the little crevice. Because those I can use. I just need a bunch of regulars now, right? Those are for the power supply. Those can go here. Sorting all the little screws. And then there's extra motherboard standoffs. Those are going to go in here because I don't need them. I know for a fact I don't. That's a motherboard standoff remover. I don't need that. It's another standoff that can go in here. I believe I only need... Oh, I guess they give you an extra one in case you lose one. That's neat. Again, extra screws are always nice, especially if, you're going to lose them. They only cost like an extra cent to make, so you might as well make a bunch and just give spares out like candy. That's the way I see it, though. That's my school of thought. If it costs 1 extra cent to make, it's not going to hurt your margins when you're selling a $50 case. That's 1. That's 2. Hold on a second. You seem to be offset. Let's remove that real quick because the motherboard doesn't seem to be on these standoff holes correctly, which does concern me. I don't want it to short because that could be a good way of shorting out a board, and I don't want to do that. That's suicide. All right, that should be better aligned. Now, why are you being an ass still? This thing's really being stuck up. Put one in there for now. If one hole doesn't work on these motherboards, try screwing into a different one, and maybe it'll recenter itself on the others. Because these center 2 here seem to be just fine. In fact, that might be a little bit over torqued, so let me under torque it a bit. That should be better. I don't want to crack the board. All right, bottom left is fine now. I just had to put one on the left side, and all of a sudden it starts working again. That's hand tight. You need to come out. Or you can be a pain in my ass. That's also... that's annoying. Really? Oh, there we go. I somehow fixed that. Nope, I didn't. It's still off. Why is this one off? It's like no matter what I do with it, no matter how I jiggle it. Damn. Oh, that might be the problem. The actual standoff came off. That's concerning. Yeah, I'm going to have to take this whole board out now. Because that standoff decided to lift. I don't know how it lifted, but it decided to lift. So now I got to take the whole thing out. That's great. That's totally not annoying. Yeah, now I got to fix that standoff screw. I got to pull the whole board out now. All right, let's see. This should just, yep. As I said, look at that little guy right there. Yep, that guy came out. I don't know why he did, but he decided to, you decide to leave your post. You're not supposed to do that, sir. And now I got to deal with you being an absolute thorn in my side. I need to get tweezers or pliers or something for this. I can't do this with my hands. I just don't think I can. Oh, yeah, no, definitely not. I'm going to get needle nose pliers real quick. This became interesting incredibly fast. While I'm at it, let me put a new standoff in there. I used to try to make sure that that socket isn't bad. Because the socket might be bad. Or it might not be. Maybe it was just a fluke. All right. That standoff is installed. So hopefully it shouldn't pull out. Yeah, none of these should pull out. I just need a pair of needle nose. I just knocked one in there. Let me fix that real quick. There you are. Gotcha. All right, I'll be right back. All right. There you are. I don't know what that came from. Probably from in here. Okay. Now to pull that standoff out. Woof. Be careful here. And there we go. I extracted it. I just needed needle nose to keep this from moving, and now it works again. And I can actually put the standoffs in, or screw it into the standoffs, moreover. That was annoying. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. Not funny. Didn't laugh. All right, bottom right corner's in. Let me do bottom left. Middle left. Then middle right. And then top right. For you guys, it's bottom right, I believe. No, bottom left. The hell? Did it even go in? There we go. And then up there. That's the most annoying one. I'm glad I'm doing that without the cables in, because if I did it with the cables in, it would be a bitch. In reality, I shouldn't have installed this cooler yet. Once you put the big cooler on, it's kind of hard to navigate your way around with cables. Oh well. It's not a huge deal. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Missing these two in the center here. Is that a peg? Can't really tell. Hold on. No, it is a screw. Let me double check. Can these thread into there? They indeed can. So these are, in fact, actually, no, they can't. Not the same threading type. So those are not screws for what I thought they were. That must mean they're in here, right? Yes, they're in here. This is going to be so extra. Like, seriously. I'll never need to do this, but it's funny to do it anyway. I'm like having doubts. Do I even want to bother installing a GPU bracket, knowing that it doesn't need it? Because it really doesn't. It's just funny to have one when it doesn't need one. But I digress. I won't install it. It'd be funny, though. It's one of those why bother moments. There we go. Two more of these. And one more. All right, all standoffs are in. Now this board is very much secure. Let me think. Next, I need to do power supply. Actually, no, I could do graphics card next. Am I going to hit this? I'm actually a little concerned. That might be a bit too close. I may have to rotate this cooler 180 because it might be too close to this. Also, what the hell is this? There's like a button here. Oh, that releases the GPU slot. I see. Okay. You got to press down really hard on it because there's a little bit of like travel to it, and then you push down really hard and then it opens. Okay, I see. That's cool. Again, I'm really glad when manufacturers decide to, you know, make it easier to install a graphics card. It kind of helps a lot. All right, 9060 XT. Where's my knife? It's over there. I forget, is this a 8-lane GPU or a 16-lane? I think the 8-lane GPUs are the 5060 series, not the 9060. Another W from AMD. It actually utilizes all 16 lanes. Oh my god, I forgot. It's white. It's a white card. The rare white GPU. It's a shame it's not going into a white build. It's a shame. I'm kind of mad, but oh well. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Still kind of pissed off about it, though. Because I'd love to have a sexy, full white build. White motherboards are not cheap, though. They're like $300, $400. GPUs are also pretty expensive. Ironically, this was the cheapest 9060 XT available by $10. So there was no white tax involved. Go. Remove the PCIe cover. Remove the protective film. Because this stuff basically suffocates the card if you don't. You see, I can remove some films. I just can't remove all of them. Like that one. And then I believe there's some film here. Yes, there is. There's film on the top shroud. If I can peel it off, that'd be nice. There's a little pull tab. Whoop, there we go. And now these. Perfect. Set that here temporarily. Chuck that in the trash. Make sure I have all the peel removed. Yep. It's a nice looking card. I'll give it that. It's the first time I've held an AMD GPU in a while, actually. I don't usually buy AMD cards. But when I do, I drink Dos Equis. Stay thirsty, my friends. Here's another issue. Here's something I don't like. This only has 3 outputs. Now, this isn't going to affect the end user that much, but this would affect me personally. But it's fine. At least I'm not buying it for myself. But that's the thing I do hate about lower end cards. They're starting to like reduce the amount of ports artificially. Because these cards can normally support 4. Some even support 5 displays out. There we go. Whoop. And now it's time for you to go in. How close is that going to be? I would assume incredibly. Oh, this is stupid placement. These screws are like overlapping over the slot. So I have to remove this third one. I don't like that design. That's a pretty stupid design. Also, these seem to be hand threadable, but they need like a little bit of a turn on a screwdriver in order for them to like break in. There we go. Now they turn. Perfect. All right, now to put these back in. I'm just going to screw them in with the screwdriver. It's easier. Oh, damn it. And the last one. All right, card is in. All these slots, or all these things have been loosened. These can go in here, as I don't need them. All right, what's next? Power supply. This needs to go back into the GPU box, which is right here. Perfect. And now in here. Yeet. Yeet. Actually, wait, no, I didn't. I shouldn't have yeeted that. We need that back. Keep that there for now. This can go back in here. Oh, I should probably do something important. Let me plug these ports so that they're not used. There's only one, thankfully, and it's an HDMI. I can just put a blocker in there. That way, that informs end user to not use this, because these ports are the integrated graphics, which is not good, because it's much weaker than the dedicated graphics, which you should use. Also, this has a lot of USB to it. 4 USB 2, 4 USB 3, and 2 Thunderbolt. And a 2.5 gig port, which is really nice if you like your internet connections or your Ethernet connections fast. You have a NAS or something. Not so much for, you know, John Doe, who has, you know, sub-gigabit internet, but pretty good for other stuff. If you got like more than gigabit fiber, it definitely does help. I forgot to put this little plastic clip in here, so we'll do that real quick. All right. Power supply time. Does this just pull off? It does. It has a little notch here you just grab from. There's the backside. Ooh! The top panel removes too. That's helpful. That way you can wash it. You can like run water through it to get rid of the dirt from this mesh here. That's really nice. No, I like that a lot. That's really good. And it just has these ball joints that hold it in. So I'm going to remove that temporarily. Can I remove the glass panel? Oh, I can remove the glass panel. Yo, that's sick. Dude, you can remove like every other panel on here. That's amazing. That makes it so much easier to work in. Oh, dude, this is amazing. $50 for this case, by the way. Like, again, what the hell? Also, there seems to be a screw hole here. Here, let me show you guys better. Right over here, there's a screw. And it seems to open a compartment to something. Oh, it opens a compartment to nothing. I'm guessing that's for like a reservoir or something of the like. Allows extra space. It turns it from just a plain gradient that nothing can stay on to having, you know, a place for a reservoir if you do water cooling or something, which I'm not. But still a neat case, no less. I mean, it's still a neat use case for it. We're going to put that back in. There's no need for it. Chuck that there. And now for the fun part. Power supply time. Pizza time. There we go. You are over here. Let's just open you up. Cables. The actual unit. New power supply smell. Oh, what a good smell that is. The chemicals. Don't you love the smell of factory chemicals at 11 at night? Sorry, is it midnight yet? No, it's not midnight yet. At 11:30 at night. Breathing in the chemicals. Ah. All right. There's also a 2.5-inch slot here. Is this a sandwich? Yeah, you could theoretically, I'm guessing, put one in here. It looks like you could fit one in here and then one on top here. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. You can definitely fit one on top, but maybe you could fit one on the other side as well, which is, again, convenience. Allows you to have two of them there, if true. Where do these go to? Is this RGB? Holy shit, this case is RGB built in. I'll be damned. Yes, it does. It has RGB built in. Down here? Wait a second. Are you telling me? Are you telling me that the power button is RGB? I think the power button's RGB. That's funny. I like that. I don't know why that exists, but it does. So we're going to use that because that's hilarious. I'm also going to put that thing back on so that it doesn't, you know, burn it out. Put it through here. Now, where is... Oh, it's all the way over there. I'm going to have to dig through this channel down here to get it. Perfect. Tighten that. Try not to cut myself. Case just took a bite out of me there. Need to be careful. Why does it not want to go in? Am I not good at setting these in correctly? There we go. Now it's in. That port is a bit finicky. Also, I'm going to have to put the analog audio over here, too. Damn it. All right, where do you go? That's front panel. That needs to go down. Just loosen all these real quick. All right, remove that. At least they give you plenty of cable to work with. So yeah, front panel, HD audio. That's USB-C. That'll break off here. So you thread it just up to here. And then you are USB 3. You also go, what is it, like right? Oh, no, you go down, all the way down here. Oh, buddy. Buddy. You go through here now. All right, there we go. All right. I just need to flip this over again. You first find it. Fish the cables through. That is audio. Which one is missing? Bottom left. Damn it. Get the fuck in there. Dude, why do they have to make ARGB headers so shit? Serious question. Why did they have to do that? They're so dog water. They're like entirely made of plastic. They just have like 3 pins keeping it together. And it bends so easily. Probably the cheapest made header I've ever dealt with. 0 out of 10. Mid hated it. It's not even mid hated, it's just fuck, I hate this thing. All right, move that. All right, that should go in. Just make sure I have it correct. I do. So it doesn't go in. You just do that. You just use it as an alignment. All right. What's that extra pin for? Something, I don't know. All right, doesn't matter anyway. This can go back in here with all the other bits and bobs. There we go. And now I need to set this in correctly. There we go. I don't like how that cable has to fold over. I mean, I can just bend it back like that. All right, there we go. All right, I got the USB-C in, USB-A. I should probably get that. Where is that SATA cable? Probably install that just to have it. That way if storage needs upgrading in the future, there's already a SATA cable installed. Actually, it comes with two. Even better. I'll install both. This is just for future's sake. Make life a bit easier doing that. Get in there. There we go. Now both of them are done. This just needs cable managing, which won't be too hard to do. I can just cable tie that together for now and shove it back here. Perfect. This is trash. It's not the prettiest looking cable management, but it works. Unfortunately, there's a lot of cables at weird positions, which is a slight downside, but that's more a motherboard placement issue than a case issue. So I'm not going to discredit the case for that. I'm going to discredit the motherboard for that. But we still have to do power supply stuff. And all these are making a mess. We haven't even put power into this thing yet. Let's get another zip tie. Another one going in here. Perfect. Now that's all held together just on one part. Realistically, I could have put it up there, and I think this has enough slack that I can. Let's try. Answer might be a no. It's still worth doing. Well, it still worked. I mean, I got it up there. I don't know how I did it, but I got it up there. All right. Actual, for real this time, power supply. That goes in there. Actually, hold on. Bottom down, fan side down. There we go. Oh, there's these foam pads in the way. That's what's causing that issue. The foam pads are a bit precisely lined, if I'm to be honest with you. A little too precise. And now I gotta use one hand to keep that in place and the other hand to put these screws in. A little bit of an inconvenience. But at least I can thread them with my fingers temporarily. And now I can let go. All I need is two. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. Set that to on. Now's the fun part, putting cables in. Again, should have done this earlier, but I decided not to. This is the part where my OCD gets mad, incredibly mad, for justified reasons. Now, why won't you slot in? There we go. There you are. All right, cable time. This is not a resealable bag. I really wish it was, but then again, the pouch is resealable. So this is trash as well. This is APS. We're using that. This is SATA. Throw that in there just to have it. This is PCIe. We need that. I might as well install that just to have it. I'm probably just going to install all these cables, or a good chunk of them. Motherboard, we need that. That is also PCIe, but it's just, this is Molex. Does anything use Molex? I don't believe anything uses Molex, so I think we're good. Yep, these can go in here. The rest I'll install, just for sanity's sake. All right, keep that there for now. This one can be untwisted. I have so many twisty ties after this. That's ATX. Hold on, I'm going to get a light for this. All right. These are all SATA, PCIe and CPU, ATX. All right. Let's go with the deepest ones first, just to make installing more cables easier in the future. All about convenience here. I can go hang out. This one I'm going to put next to the ATX though. This is 4+4, so that goes in here then. Actually, I should probably do this one second to last. And plug this in next. There we go. Now it's in there nice and firm. Now if GPU is ever upgraded, that's in there already. I doubt they'll have the GPU upgraded, at least not for a while, but you know, if GPUs decide to use like 1,000 watts, or not really 1,000, but 500 watts, it's already prepared for that. Jesus. Look at this thick ass cable. It's a thick boy. Mimi big boy. There we go. Put that there for now. You need to go there. And now I need to flip this around. There we go. Cable manage all this. All right, you have to go up here. Just tuck it under this. Wow, look at that. You can barely even see it. Pretty nice. I like when you can just hide the CPU cable like that. That's pretty sick. All right, you're just going to go up vertically and then cut off here. Well, let me bury some of the cable first, and then I can do that. There we go. All right, bend that there. That should be good. And now you're going to be fun to play with. CPU's already been aligned. This I can just bury under there and ignore. Sweep it under the rug. Water under the bridge. You, on the other hand, you're going to have to go something like this. Let me align it a little better. That's a little better. There we go. A pin. Sweet. Perfect. And now cable manage that a little bit. Fold it into there. Just so it hides behind the graphics card a little bit. Flip this back down. Hold on, let me thread half of it through. And that way, there we go. That's proper cable management right there, using all the slack I can get. Perfect. That's not terrible cable management. Obviously didn't need a whole lot of cables. There it is. Where's the beef? You can go away. I no longer need you. You can go into the yeet pile. Yeet. All right, how does this go in? Ball joints. Okay. Oh, hold on. It slides down, then you push it in. Okay, so there's teeth right here, and you have to key it in, and then it goes in. All right, there we go. Now for the glass. The glass. This also keys in by gravity. The top panel. Make sure I have this aligned correctly. So there's, oh, hold on. It actually, I'm going to do something funny. All right, so it goes on that way. What happens if I flip it around like this? It does not go in. Okay. There's two little things here, though. I'm wondering. Oh, no, it's just to remove it. Okay, never mind. Ooh. Are there any extra fans? I just realized this computer doesn't come with any extra fans. Huh. Well, I guess that's why it's $50. That's the one thing it doesn't come with. It doesn't come with any fans. Do a weird 270-degree bend on this cable. Really don't like doing that on these, but they can take it. They can withstand it. There we go. It actually doesn't look that bad. That's actually a very clean cable bend. This also juts out a little bit too much for my liking. But for the most part, this actually looks incredibly well managed cable-wise. That can just go back in here. Perfect. Usually you're supposed to put the GPU cable through here, but I can barely see it. Like, dude, the cable management on this is pristine. I actually did a good job about this. I'm kind of proud. Here's something I should probably do before I forget, and then wonder why it won't boot, is plug the CPU cable in. That would be smart. The tooth is there and not the other way around. All right, let's see. Front panel's in. SATA ports are in. USB 3, USB-C, ATX, GPU, CPU. I think I'm ready to go. I'm surprised by how little low clearance there is there. I mean, I guess it effectively acts as a shroud. So the air will just be forced to go along here. So it's not the worst. I don't know. I'm not going to be asked to flip it around. It's not going to be a huge deal. Okay. I think it's generally time to turn it on. Power supply is on, or the power supply is set to on. I just need to plug it in and get my thing set up. The thing, I tell you, the thing. Actually, hold on. I can just flip it like this. That way you guys can read it. That goes in. That goes in. Should probably plug a keyboard in and mouse just so I have it before I even do this. But I think computer is ready to go. And then I'll bother installing crap onto it later. All right, power cable is in on one end. Now it's in on both ends. All right, let me get the... Yep, it detected power. It detected standby power, so that's good. Yep, standby power does work. All right, I'm not going to bother plugging in the mouse. This should just do it. All right, power button should be down here, right? Yep, it turned on. Fan's a little loud. Ooh, ooh, that's cool. That's some cool RGB. I don't know why it has that. That is the weirdest place to put RGB, but it looks cool. I'm just going to keep it as it is. That's just default. There's probably a setting in the BIOS to change that, but I'm actually surprised that ARGB header works, given how I mashed it. Dude, I fucking hate ARGB headers. They just suck. They're not durable at all. They're very weak. Motherboard thing can go in the motherboard box. I haven't seen anything yet. I'm assuming memory training is happening. I don't know if there's debug lights on this board. I'll have to find out. All right, that can go over there. There we go. Maybe the HDMI port doesn't work. This monitor keeps getting flakier and flakier each time I use it, unfortunately. Throw these all back over here. You too. Let's see what happens if I press it. It immediately turns off. Okay, that might be a good sign. Oh, there are debug lights. All right, let's watch them. VGA. The VGA light is still on. It should have power. Yeah, the power plug's in. Nope, still stuck at it. What does the top one there say? All right, top left is CPU, bottom left is VGA. CPU, DRAM, VGA, and it's going to hang on VGA. So that's the GPU. Yeah, I think it's going to hang there. So either the GPU is bad, or it's not getting power, which it would be weird because it definitely should have power going to it. Check the debug light one last time. Nope, still hanging. All right. Let me quickly remove this. That way it's not interfering with anything. And that way, remove that too. Yep, it's in. That is very much in. It goes up here, arcs around, gets fed through there. So it's plugged in on this side. Make sure it's plugged in on this side, because you never know. I only installed the 6-pin. The 2-pin must have not installed correctly. So that would be why. The sense pin wasn't connected and it was throwing an error. That would do it. I have a feeling that might have came out. That probably came out. Because I swear I plugged all 8 of those in. All right, let's try again. Okay. This time, oh, you're not even plugged in. That was a quick fix, though, if that was the issue. And I have a strong feeling it was. That was our one fluke. Plug this in, this in. On switch. There we go. All right, give me a, yay, let's go. It works. Let's go. We have a post. We're in the BIOS right away. Would you like to enable X3D turbo mode? Yes. New CPU installed. Press Y to reset. Obviously, there's going to be nothing installed, so it's just going to go like, insert a boot drive. Insert a boot drive. And there ain't ever going to be a boot drive. At least not until, you know, plug in Ventoy. And then there will be. But yeah, we do have a post. And like that, BIOS has been reset. Let's enable XMP. Resizable bar, CSM, enable that. Enable Expo. Might as well enable those, see what they do. Actually, no, let's disable them just to have them. Just run it at regular Expo. And I think that's it. Easy mode. How lame. I can't switch it to advanced mode without a mouse. All right, mouse time. Mouse tool. It's a surprise tool that'll help us later. Oh, well, I entered advanced mode somehow. Just plugging in a mouse fixed it. Except I'm doing this upside down, so I can't really see what I'm doing. I don't think I need to do any of that. Settings. Voltages are good. CBS. Let's do miscellaneous real quick. Okay, so those two are limited to Gen 3, unfortunately. That one is Gen 5, obviously. But yeah, these two PCIe Gen 1, or the PCIe slots, the Gen 1 lane slots, are both Gen 3. Sucks, but oh well. IOMMU, let's keep that at auto. System info. Anything else? Nope, I think we're good. Save and exit. I'm not going to tune any of the fans. This doesn't have any fans except the two in the cooler, which might be a bad idea. It's low enough wattage that I'm not going to worry too much because it's a big case. There's a giant mesh grill in the back, a giant grill in the front. This could passively, you know, channel air, I would at least hope. Worst case scenario, I just tell end user, yeah, you need to make sure it breathes. You don't put it in a choked area with carpet on the floor. But there's a bunch of mesh openings that it can breathe from, so I'm not too concerned. If anything, I'd probably put a fan on the back here, but I can feel air coming out the back without a fan on it. I can feel air right here. So we have airflow. We do have airflow. I can feel it. So it's not too concerning. It's not in my opinion. Also, hi, Cookie. I believe that's Cookie. Who's the build for? There are two cases. So this case over here, this one is a other build that I'm actually taking to Ohio, funnily enough. But this one is also going to Ohio with me because one is for a friend and this is for a friend of a friend. So, yeah, that's what's happening. I think it's just going to be in a boot loop now because there's no boot device. Yeah, I think it just doesn't know what the fuck to do. It's just like, chicken. But yeah, I was going to ship this thing to the end user for like $100. But why pay $100 to ship it when I can go up there for $100, stay at a friend's place the entire my entire 5-day break, come back Thursday night, and so be it. That's just how I see it. It's way more economical just to visit them. Sure, it's more wear and tear on my car, but I don't really care. It's a Prius. I'm probably going to get 250,000 miles out of the thing. It's already at 127. Might as well get it to 250. The one for Kat? No, Kat. I keep insisting Kat let me build one for her, or let me let her borrow one for me, but she doesn't want to. I keep trying to get her to please let me build you one or let you use one of these because I have one that's old as fuck. You probably won't be able to play many games on it, but it works, TM, which is way better than probably what she has right now. But yeah, no, this is a 9060 XT in it, a 7800X 3D, and then the white case over here has a 5500, which is an older 6-core, and 16 gigs of DDR4. This has 32 gigs of DDR5, so quite a jump in spec. But I mean, they're both computers. They're probably the one here. The friend in question is upgrading from an FX chip. And if anybody knows what FX chips are, they suck ass. They're from the early mid 2010s. They suck ass. They're horrible. They're inefficient. They're wasteful. They got sued for claiming to have 8 cores when in reality they only had 4 cores. A lot of stupid shit. But yeah, basically they're very shitty processors, and going from an FX chip to a low-end Ryzen or mid-tier Ryzen, honestly, is a great upgrade. Dude, I don't know why Twitch on my phone doesn't want to load messages. It loads messages insanely slow. Or doesn't even load them at all. Because Taylor, a bunch of your messages did not show. Which is incredibly annoying. Alright. I think it's time for me to pack this all up. I'm going to probably go install Windows off camera, do a couple things like that, and put the panel back on this thing. It really needs it. That way I can thermally test it in case it gets too hot. If it gets too hot, I can add a fan or two. Ding. It also has RGB in the weirdest place possible. T-Lord, look at this shit. That's RGB. This thing right here, that's RGB. I don't know why, but it has RGB. So I plugged it into one of the headers on the board, and it has RGB now. It's funny. I don't know why. I don't know why Lee and Lee was just like, yeah, fuck it, RGB strip. I mean, it looks good. It's just funny. All right, anyways, I think that's going to be it, guys. Ooh. I left this. This goes into... Actually, I can just toss it. And these can go up here. But yeah, that's going to be it for me. I appreciate y'all being here. But yeah, it's time for me to set this thing up, install Windows, put some tests through it, and then I'll be done with it. I'll be ready to ship it up to Ohio. But yeah, Thank you all for being here. You all take care. Stay savage. And I will see you guys later.